I mentioned that Shortbow is one of the most mechanically interesting weapons in the game. So I'm going to mention why. Skill retargeting, that's what it's called. Allow skill retargeting. So what this does is says when a skill that targets enemies, when using a skill that targets enemies, changing your target will cause the skill to update to the new target. So that means that if I target this MOA and I use Shortbow 5 and then switch to this MOA, it should, instead of casting it on this one, switch it to this one, right? Pretty straightforward. So anyways, here, switch targets and it goes to this one. That's called skill retargeting. So if you have a keybind called lock auto target, which when you press it, it makes you lose your target for a moment, and when you unpress it, it'll automatically reselect a target. Now the reason this is relevant is for skill retargeting. So you can use a skill, you press this keybind and it'll automatically like retarget to the nearest enemy next to you. It's useful for movement abilities like Vindicator leaps, great sword stuff, etc. But it's really useful for kiting on Shortbow because you can just skill retarget Shortbow 5 directly behind you. So if I press Shortbow 5 while I'm running away from this target, it's not going to do anything until I get into its line of sight, or my first like 180 degrees cone. But if you use skill retargeting, you can Shortbow 5 right behind you. So that's one mechanic. Another mechanic is the auto attack is actually, you can cast it while running away. So if you start to cast and then about face away from the target, you can see here that I can keep moving away. So this means that this weapon is effectively the best kiting weapon in the game if you're good at it. Only other mechanic on this weapon is the Shortbow 2. So the Shortbow 2 can be used when you're not facing your target, because the way it works is that you summon a portal. It's that obscured. It's interesting. You summon a portal as long as you're in range and you shoot the arrows like through the portal. So I'm just gonna walk away, press Shortbow 2. So again, just to wrap that up, you've got Shortbow 5 behind you. You've got the hideable auto attack. You've got the area denial on Shortbow. So that is why it's my favorite weapon. I think it's probably the most insane weapon once you actually like know how to use it. It's just, I don't know, feels like butter.